In this video, let us learn hooks in Playwright JavaScript. Playwright provides several hooks for managing the life cycle of text, such as setup and teardown actions. Actually, these are the functions defined within the text files that executes before or after specific tests or suites of tests. The hooks are part of the @Playwright test library, and those are include beforeEach. It runs before each individual tests within a file or suite. afterEach. It runs after each individual test. This is often used for cleanup tasks like logging out, cleaning cookies, taking a screenshot on the failure, or closing a current page. It means the before each and after each, how they will execute. Assume a test file is having a 3 test cases. In this case, the before each will run 3 times and after each will run 3 times, because with respect to each test case wise, the before each, after each, again before each, after each. In this way they will execute. So we will take an example and we will explore how the before each and after each works. So we will create a one source file. Hooks test1.spec.js. So we can create require. We can specify require Playwright test, and it provides test expect. So we can write the first test cases. Suppose we have a test cases are in this way. First test async page. So we can write console.log. It is a first test case. So similarly we can write it one more test. Second test. Console.log. It is a second test case. Test. Third test. We can write some of the around some 4 test cases we can write it. It is a third test case. Test. Fourth test. Async. We are just providing page picture because page picture is optional here. That one we can discuss in the next case. It is a fourth test case. So currently we have how many test cases? 4 test cases are available. So currently we can start running this. These are test cases we will try to run. Playwright test. In order to run this particular test, we can go for test folder, the file name hooks test1.spec.js. As soon as if we can run, all tests are executing in a sequential order. The first test, third and fourth test. First, second, third and fourth. Please make sure whether fully parallelly we make it as a false. So fully parallelly we make it as a false. So again you can cross check fully parallelly. Yes, we can make it as a false. Again, we can run this test. Again, those will execute in a sequential order. Actually, by default, the tests are not running in a sequential order. Okay, now we can apply the hooks representation now. So how we can able to apply the hooks means test dot before each. We can apply before each async. So here we can write it login into the application. Login into the application. Again, we can write one more hooks. Test after each async logout from the application. So this is login to the application. This is logout from the application. So save this one. As soon as if we can execute, the expected result should be in this way. What can be our expected result means the login into the application first. It is the first test case. Again, logout from the application. Again, for the second test, login is the first and second test case and logout is the last. Again, for third test case, before execution of this third test case, which one? The before each and after each has to be executed. Before each, log into the application and third test, then log out. Again, fourth test also same. So with respect to this execution of fourth test, but first before each will execute, then test case, afterwards after each. So this is the way the execution will be carried out. So first we will execute and we will check now whether it provides the same output or not, what we have expected. So the output is, so login into the application, first test and log out from the application. Again for second test, login and log out. Again for the third test, login first, the third test case and log out. Again for fourth test, login is first, fourth test and log out. And we can start analyzing the same thing in the report also. npx playwright show -report. In the report also it has to be representing the same thing. So with respect to the first test, okay, as soon as we can click on standard output, see login and as well as first test case logout. Again, if we can go for second test, this is also same representation. Again for third test, the output should be the same. Again for the fourth test, it was the same representation only. Okay. So again, if we can come to the first test case, here with respect to each test case wise, we have provided a page fixture. So even because currently we are not launching any browser or anything, even if page fixture is optional here, even if we can omit the page fixture and if we can run, it should provide the same result. Again save this one and again clear the console. Again if we can execute, it's supposed to provide the same output. So again here same with respect to each test case wise, before each after each. Again second test case wise, before each after each. Again third test case wise, before each after each. Again the fourth test case wise, before each and after each. In this way it is executing. So the conclusion is in this way. Assume if you have 100 test cases, 100 tests in our current file. Then the before each executes 100 times and after each executes 100 times. Okay. Thank you.